Then I'm going to move over to my 1.25 deep holes, move my gate down, okay, and then I want to get my response from that and peek it out, get position 2. Now I'm working, that gives me a velocity of 1.25, which is pretty good. It's the stainless. I have a stainless IW block. Hit accept. So then I'll go to my wedge delay next and hit start, and it automatically will set everything to my my drill hole. And I'm going to move my gate up to the drill hole. So we're locked in on the hole. Hit next, next, next. And then I'm going to move across and have it paint my response. And as I move across, it's going to give me, it's going to fill in the envelope at the bottom. You notice it trails off to the bottom, so I'll hit calibrate, and then I'll go back across. Now, the problem is, you see where my drill hole is now at the top, so I'm going to have to remove my gate up a little. All right. And let's see if it follows into my error bars across this. So it's good on that side, 40 degrees, coming back across. Now the whole calibration using the drill hole it's fast. It's fast. I won't say it's accurate, but it's fast. Hit accept. So now I've completed calibration of wedge and velocity using drill hole method. So the next one is sensitivity. This is the one you love so much. Okay. So again, for sensitivity, I'm already in the right spot. I want to, but I'll notice as I'm going across, you see where my amplitude is on my response? I mean, my gain is too high. So I'm going to going over to where it has my gain control. I'm going to turn it down to where my signal is about 50%. So I'm going to work at that point on 50%. Let's see if I can get a calibration. And so here I go across the bottom and then back the other way. And unfortunately, with the Mark 1, Mark 2, you can't go too fast or it can't keep up. So I'm going to go back all the way to the other side because I want to make sure that it's at least getting to the end of my my angle, and I'm getting all the way over. Now I have to do it again because once I hit accept, I messed up there. Let me do it one more time. Start. I should have hit calibrate before I hit accept. That's oops on my part. Here we go again. So I have to get my signal. Start off over here. And back. Make sure I got plenty of pressure on the front part of my wedge. Make sure I'm getting good response. If you don't get it peaked out properly as you go across, I always say you can see your bone. If you can't see your bones when you're pushing on the transducer, you're not pushing hard enough. Hit calibrate. And so the end result is I want to be able to get within the error bars with my sensitivity after I've done my calibrate, like this. And so I need more couplet. That's the way it always works. Scary, isn't it? Needs so much couplet to get the signal we need. Here we go. More couplet means more signal, which means we'll have to push the calibrate button again, most likely. And you can see it going up above the error bars. I know y'all love this, right? This is the part that most people don't like. having to deal with this. So if I hit calibrate again, it should pull the gain down. Myself, I like the two-handed approach. But what I hope to get is get across this with both hands and get it in the air bar all the way across. See, it's going over right there. It's when you just wish you could control the thing. I have to say the 10 megahertz transducer is more peaky. It peaks up a lot better than other ones. But it should not go over the air bars. I see I'm going over one small point. I'm going to accept that though and continue. So now, how do you test to see if it's good? Well, I should be able to peak and I should get maximum of 80%. I'm going to turn on my display. Be sure my overlay is on. Under this, I'll make sure envelope and my reference amplitude is on. So when I come back, I want to verify that my response is not going over 80. You can see it's going up to the reference line. If I change the angle, it should also be in this range. It should go up to my 80%. Come on, baby. I made it a little over 84%. Let's do the one at 70 degrees on the other side. And see, it's going up to 80 almost. Push a little harder, more couplant. I'm getting 77, 78, 79, 81. Okay, I got it. So typically the tolerance is around 5% on this. So this means that your sensitivity is a relatively good calibration. So once we've got that, then the next thing is the TGC. So for TGC on this, we're going to use the nav ship block. We're going to use the 1/2 inch, the 1 inch hole, and the 1.5 hole. And so we're already pointing it at the, I'm going to switch over to a 1/2 inch reflector, put my coupling on. And here we go. So to do TGC, it's like doing sensitivity multiple times. So you see my hole there? I'm going to go to, back to Wizard, and then I'm going to go to calibration. This time, I'm going to select sizing, and I'm going to select TGC. So when I hit start, the machine's going to go up there and say, okay, what type of curve do you want to do? I'll do the ASME curve. Hit next, and set the reference of 80%. Hit next. And I also, you notice how high I'm getting 100% on that, so I'm going to turn my gain down my first opportunity so that I'm operating about half of the curve. Because these machines do not like to have too much gain because they do what they call saturation, all right? So now I'm going to take and go across this, and I'm going to get an envelope as it tracks across the nav ship 1/2 inch reflector, okay? I'm going to go in and select up here. I'll get to the point where it says add point. So I'm going to draw my envelope all the way across. And again, it's better to the two-handed method. I always like the two-handed method for this. That way you've got a clear signal all the way across. Now, does it have to go to the air bars? No, it does not. Does it have plenty of couplant? Yes, it does. So I'm coming up here across. I want to make sure I'm maxed out all the way across. And I have to go slow. That's the way this thing. So I'm going to add the point. When I hit add point, you'll see it draws the red line on the actual thing, which is like our TGC line. Okay. Next point. Now the next point I'm going to be doing is actually the 1 inch reflector, and y'all can see it moving right there down below. So I have to move my gate down to it, and so I'll roll it down to there. And then now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to paint, hit next, next, it'll get to add point, and I want to add this point across the whole range. So it has to have a signal above the baseline all the way across. If it does not, then you have to increase the gain. If it goes over or it touches, it gets up to the high end, then you have a problem on the other side. So I've got the point, I hit next, and I've got the next point on my curve, you see? So it's picked up the first 2 points. I'm gonna switch around to get the 1.5 reflector. Now here my 1.5 reflector, where is it? Well, it's actually down here. So I'll push on my deal and I'm gonna move my gate down to the 1.5 reflector. Okay, now here we go. So I have to go all the way to the end, next point. It won't let you do it unless it stops blinking. So next point, next, next. Now when you're doing this, you want to let it have time to do its thing, because if you get too clicky, unfortunately it will go and it'll finish the whole thing out and you'll have to go and start again. You can add points to your curve. So if your curve goes out to say 1 inch and you need to go to 2 inches, you can go back and add additional points to a curve. You can delete points and add and replace points that are screwed up, but I have to tell you that it's not easy to get it to work sometimes. Better to start over. So here I've gone through the whole thing. I want to make sure that I'm pressing hard enough. So I want to make sure I've got adequate gain. I'd prefer to have a smooth curve all the way across. One like this one is probably going to be not optimal. So I've completed that. Now I've got 3 points. I'm gonna hit accept. And so it's basically taken and it's turned on the TGC, which, what does that mean? That means when I go over the reflector, it's gonna carry me up to the reference level. You see that? So if I go back